Hello, tonight our video is on multiplying fractions. Now this should be review for us because in 5th grade you multiplied fractions quite often. But let's start by writing this note. To multiply fractions, multiply the numerators and the denominators. In other words, multiply straight across. Alright, so to multiply 3/4 and 5/7, I'm going to multiply straight across the numerators and the denominators. So 3 times 5 would be 15, and 4 times 7 would be 28. Okay, so here are a couple more examples. Now, on this first example, 5/8 times 4/15, it's always a good idea before you multiply to cancel out any common factors. So what I mean is, if I look carefully here, I can see that 4 and 8. Well, 4 is a factor of 8 because 4 times 2 would be 8. So I can divide 4 out of 4 and 4 out of 8 and reduce those. And notice that you don't have to have the numerator and denominator in the same fraction. You can cancel any factors out of the numerators and denominators. So here I have 5 and 15. Well, 5 will go into 15 3 times, and it will go into itself 1 time. So I'm canceling before I multiply. That way, my product, the answer to my multiplication, will be in lowest terms. So now I'm going to multiply 1 times 1 and 2 times 3. You know, if I didn't do that, if I multiplied 5 times 4 and 8 times 15, then I would get 20 over 120. But that would reduce all the way back to 1/6. All right, look at the next example. What can we cancel out of 3/10 and 5/9 before we multiply? What do you think? Okay, the 3 will go into 9. So 3 goes into 9 3 times, and it goes 1 time into itself. See, so we're just dividing out of 3 out of both those. And then the 5 will go into 10 2 times, and we're dividing a 5 out of 5 and a 5 out of 10. So this ends up being the same answer we had before, just coincidentally. And you can see that if we didn't do that, if we multiplied the way they are, we would get 15 over 90, and then I'd have to start dividing out and reducing my fraction. All right, here are a couple examples. Go ahead and write down the first example, then pause your video, look to cancel out any common factors, and then multiply. Then restart to check your answer. All right, welcome back from pausing the video. 5 goes into 25, so I can cancel a 5 out of both. 5 goes 5 times into 25, 1 time into itself. Now for 12 and 16, 12 doesn't multiply into 16, but they do share a common factor, 4. 4 will go into 12 3 times, and 4 will go into 16 4 times. And now I'm going to multiply. So 3 times 1 is 3, 5 times 4 is 20. So how'd you do? All right, let's look at the next example. 10 times 3/8. All right, well, before I multiply this, I'm going to write 10 as a fraction. So how would you write 10 as a fraction? What do you think? That's right, it's 10 over 1. Right? 10 divided by 1 equals 10. So I can write that as 10 over 1, and now I can look to multiply. But before I do you see anything we can cancel? Well, we can divide a 2 out of 8 and a 2 out of 10. And that looks like it's it. So now let's multiply. 5 times 3, that's 15. 1 times 4 is 4. And remember I said you can leave your improper fractions the way they are. So 15/4 is the answer. Okay, here's a self-quiz. Go ahead and copy them down. Then do the self-quiz. You're going to pause your video and do the self-quiz and then restart to see how you did. Welcome back from pausing the video. On the first problem, let's cancel 2 into 8. 4 times, 1 time into itself, and let's multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 3 is 12. All right, the next problem. 5 will cancel into 10 twice. 9 will cancel into 18 twice. And let's multiply. 1 times 1, 2 times 2. For number 3, write 24 over 1. Now let's cancel 3 goes into 24 8 times. 1 time into itself. And let's multiply. 8 times 2 is 16. 1 times 1 is 1. So 16 over 1, or just 16. Okay, so how'd you do? Well, thank you for watching the video. That's all we have tonight. Remember, read some books.